Hello, Peregrine Mills Panthers. It's so good to be with you today. Today we are starting week 3 of our distance learning, and all of these lessons come from the May 4th printables that you were able to pick up either at school or print from home. So, today we're going to be looking at identifying the main idea of a text and to find supporting details. So, we are going to read a wonderful book called Solar System Forecast by Kelly Kaiser Witt and illustrated by Lori Allen Klein. Good morning, space explorers. This is your weatherman with today's solar system forecast. Hot, cold, windy, calm, rainy, dry, cloudy, clear, and everything in between. Let's take a closer look at the details. The sun is active today with dark spots. Ooh, look at the picture. You can see the dark spots. They're scattered across the surface like polka dots. These holes in the sun's surface are churning storms. The word churning means that they are moving very, very quickly. Okay? Gas shoots out of these dark holes and flies out on the solar wind, making exploration dangerous. We do not recommend travel. I wonder why the sun's so dangerous. Let's find out. Mercury is so close to the sun that almost its entire atmosphere has been blown away by the solar wind. With no air, this planet has wild temperature swings. It will get up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit during the day. Pack something warm for night when temperatures drop to 279 degrees below zero. That would make for a packing challenge, wouldn't it? Expect thick yellow sulfuric acid clouds on Venus today and every day. These clouds trap the sun's heat with a constant greenhouse effect. Venus, 850 degrees. Hot, hot, hot. Earth is the Goldilocks planet. Not too hot, not too cold. Its nitrogen and oxygen atmosphere-based climate is just right. It is cold at the poles and warm at the equator. The equator is the middle, and the poles are the top and bottom. Travelers should avoid the western Atlantic Ocean today, where a hurricane is raging. Afternoon storms are possible in some areas. Earth sounds like an awesome planet. I'm really glad we live here. If you visit Mars today to catch one of its famous pink sunsets, watch out for dust devils spinning like little tornadoes across the rust-colored surface. Look how red it is. Wonder what makes the clay so red. It's an interesting question. I'll have to ponder that. Storm chasers should head on over to Jupiter, where they are sure to nab a big one. The Great Red Spot is a storm that has been raging since Jupiter was first viewed through a telescope 400 years ago. It is the size of 3 Earths. Keep an eye out for junior-sized storms nearby. I want you to turn and talk to a family member, be it a parent, a sibling, and discuss why you think this storm has been going for over 400 years. Did you turn and talk? Yeah, that storm has been going a long time. And the reason is because the atmosphere allows for that weather and those storms. Don't let Saturn's smooth appearance fool you. Its weather can be electrifying. A recent lightning storm covered an area as big as the United States. Cloud lovers should make a special note of the giant cloud over the North Pole that has 6 sides like a hexagon. See? 6 sides. There are at least 170 moons throughout the solar system. Only one has a thick, hazy atmosphere. Saturn's largest moon, Titan. Just like Earth, the main gas in Titan's atmosphere is nitrogen. But if you visit, make sure to take your jacket and an umbrella. Titan has a 100% chance of methane rain drizzle today. Looking for calm weather? Try Uranus. One Uranus year lasts as long as 84 Earth years. Most of its stormy weather happens during the season change. About every 21 Earth years. Wonder why that's when it storms so much there. It's interesting. Spring came to Uranus a few years ago and will last until 2027. Hang on to your hats if you're visiting Neptune. With winds up to 1,500 miles per hour, this is the windiest planet in the solar system. The methane gas in its below freezing atmosphere gives Neptune its beautiful blue color. Pluto's atmosphere is freezing and falling to the ground like snow. Clear skies should return as Pluto moves even further away from the Sun on its oval orbit. An orbit means it goes around something. And the atmosphere has completely frozen and fallen to the ground. That's today's solar system forecast, fellow Voyagers. Voyagers is another word for explorers or travelers. Enjoy the good weather, keep an eye out for storms, and travel safely. Okay, let's look at this picture about the sun, or this whole page about the sun. We're going to talk a little more in depth about the sun, because that's sort of what we're focusing on this week. So, the sun, heat and light. The sun is the star at the center of our solar system. It is over 4 billion years old. That's a lot of birthday candles. It is a medium-sized star. It looks so big to us compared to the other stars because it is the closest star to us. The Earth could fit in the sun about 1 million times. You should not stare at the sun directly as it could hurt your eyes. It is a huge ball of bubbling and churning gas. So churning just means that it's moving very, very quickly. Again, we've talked about that. You would not be able to stand on it. Well, so the surface is made of gas, so we can't stand on it. Whereas here on Earth, we have a solid surface. So we are able to stand on it. Well, most of it. Like the planets, the sun spins on its axis. The sun's outer atmosphere, corona, can only be seen during total eclipse. The middle of the sun, its core, is very hot and acts like an energy factory or a nuclear reactor. It creates the heat and light that living things need to survive on Earth. If you've ever stood by a fire, you know that fire gives off heat and light too. Think of how hot the sun must be to get that heat and light all the way to the Earth. Do you think the planets closest to the sun receive more or less heat and light than the planets that are further away from the sun? Why? Turn and talk to your family member, be it a parent, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, whoever's around, and talk about that. Do planets that are closer get more heat and light or less than the planets that are further away? And then why do you think that is? Pause the video and talk about it. Did you pause the video? Good. So the answer to that question is planets closer to the sun get more heat and light than planets not close to the sun. And that's because it takes heat and light time to travel. So as that heat and light is being emitted from the big ball of gas we call the sun, it is traveling through space, and we get to watch it or see it and feel it. It's how we have nice warm days in the summer. So what's happening here is the further away from the sun a planet is, like Neptune, it takes a lot longer for the light and heat to get there. It takes less than 10 minutes for sunlight and heat to reach the Earth, about 93 million miles away. Sunspots are the cooler, darker areas on the sun's surface. Those little, almost black-looking spots we looked at earlier that look like polka dots, those are the sunspots. And they're caused by magnetic storms. The Earth could fit into some sunspots. Solar flares are sudden explosions of intense energy coming out of the sunspot. These flares hit the Earth's atmosphere and can cause radio static and shortwave outages. Coronal mass ejections are billion-ton clouds of heated gas called plasma that travel at millions of miles per hour from the sun. When they hit Earth, they can cause auroras and electrical power blackouts. Auroras are really pretty lights most of the time that you can see that don't seem to have a source. So, now that we have read our solar system forecast book, let's talk a little bit about the main idea. What do you think the main idea of this text is? Turn and talk to somebody and tell them what you think the main idea is and why. Were you able to tell somebody what you thought? So I think the main idea is that there are only certain places in the solar system that are safe currently for human life to live. And we know that as of right now, that planet is Earth. We can't live on any other planet. All the other planets have things that make it dangerous. Either it's too hot, too cold, it doesn't have a solid surface, so we can't walk on it. You wouldn't want to live on the sun, would you? What about Pluto, where it's so cold? I wouldn't want to live there. I like living here on Earth. Okay, so we know from reading this book, and we can go back to the page about Earth, where it says it's the Goldilocks planet. It says right here, it's not too hot and not too cold. Its climate is just right. Okay? So, that is my supporting detail to tell me that planet Earth is the only safe place for human life. Okay? Alright, so now what we're going to do for our activity today is you're going to make a circle map. This is my circle map. In the center, you're going to write important characteristics of Earth. Okay? Just like that. Now, out here, you're going to tell me what makes Earth the best planet for us to live on. So, one that we could write right off the top is it has a perfect climate. Okay, so we have a perfect climate. All right, what's another thing we could add? Well, we have water, right? Not every planet has water on it. Ooh, we have a solid surface. Okay, so when you turn off this video in a second, you're going to try to add more to this circle map. Try to come up with about 5 more reasons why Earth is the perfect planet. Okay? I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I miss you so much, and I hope I get to see you guys soon. Bye!